bully. They don't want you to report, and they're saying they're going to fire you. That is illegal too.
This topic is very interesting on employer retaliation, and a lot of people think that your employer will not retaliate against you. You're thinking wrong. Let me explain. So the director of my department decided he was getting ready to retire. He needed somebody to replace him. He plucked this 28-year-old who had no experience in our field and decided to put her in his role, so he could retire, and he knew that was covered. He didn't care what happened after he left. And so that's when problems, and she had been bullied as a teenager, so she was this anti-bully advocate. But the funny thing was, she proceeded to bully the entire department. So it's quite ironic, wouldn't you think? You see, and me, myself, I'm a very strong person. I don't take anybody's crap. I'm a New Yorker and I'm a Gen Xer. So for me to sit there and hear somebody say something or do something stupid, I'm going to say to you, what are you, stupid? And a lot of people don't like that. They find it intimidating. As somebody who's been bullied, of course, it's going to be triggering for them. So for that reason, she didn't like me, even though I never did anything to her personally. And I just had no respect for her. Anyway, the first week that she was there, she decided to put this whole anti-harassment booklet together and make sure we all signed it and knew exactly what was harassment, what wasn't. And you better believe I read that book front to back. And that's where things got a little tricky, because I realized, because of Miss Thing, her putting her little anti-harassment booklet together, that there was a lot of sexual harassment going on in the workplace, in a very misogynistic environment that I often had to endure, that I had to be witness of. And in particular, I was dealing with sexual harassment from one of my supervisors, and I decided to file a complaint against him. And that was like where things really got messed. So while it was being investigated by the owner of the company's friend, she determined that there was nothing, no harassment going on whatsoever that I had reported. That was the determination. But while all this was occurring, there was other things happening behind the scenes. See, my direct supervisor, she and I had previously worked 20 years prior at AT&T. And she came to me one day and she goes, you need to be careful because you're being watched. And I says, what do you mean I'm being watched? I mean, I always knew we were being watched because we had cameras in the room because of the kind of job that we did. So we were always on camera. I know I'm being watched. She goes, no, you're being specifically targeted. I said, for what? So that's when she said to me that the director was looking for things that she could fire me for, even though it's stated in the handbook that you could not be retaliated against for bringing up any claims of harassment. She was being sneaky and trying.